Hello there, welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to talk about 11.1.5, which has just been announced literally last night. And I wanted to throw together like a little video just talking about it, reading out the announcement, and kind of going through it. And, you know, PTR is probably going to launch today, I would imagine. Maybe later on today, maybe tomorrow, maybe early next week. The Race World First is currently going on, so maybe we'll get a PTR, but it doesn't look too hectic in regards to content, but it does look very interesting. So let's just dive into it. So yesterday, Blizzard posted this post called Go Inside the 11.1.5 content update. The image they use for this is Nightfall, but there is some other images in this post as well in regards to horrific visions. Let's give it a little read and some thoughts. So it says, the 11.1.5 update is making its way to PTR and brings with it some new changes, additions that will roll out in the weeks after the release of the content update. So one thing that's really interesting about this, which we'll get to, is that some of the content doesn't actually come out on release. It comes out over time as the patch is launched. So the first bit says, defend the Arathi in the Nightfall scenario. So we knew it was going to be called Nightfall, or it was going to have some sort of Nightfall content, as that was on the roadmap. We now know what that is. So it says, players will take arms beside a new faction, the Flames Radiance, to defend the Arathi against Sariki forces following the defeat of Queen Ansarek. This faction consists of a volunteer militia led by veterans Thade, Prymaker, and Malton Wildbrawn. Yep, that's how those are pronounced. As you rise through the ranks, you'll earn up to 10 levels of renown and unlock new rewards. So brand new renown track coming in 11.1.5, so a little reputation grind there. Alongside the Flames Radiance, players will be split between task forces within the Nightfall public scenario to clear the battlefield and push back the Sariki. You'll also be able to strike back against the Sariki forces throughout Nightfall and Ashgahet to continue to earn renown and rewards with additional quests and activities between the scenarios. Players can expect a variety of rewards for taking part in the scenarios and quests, including new armor sets, a new tabard which will update visually as you progress through the ranks of the Flames Radiance, weapons, a new color variation for the Delver's Dirigible, and more. As the rank increases, you can expect to earn buffs, which will help you become stronger while in Nightfall and Ashgahet. So this sounds like a new world event, so one of the just world events that's just happening pretty much all the time. Maybe it'll be on a timer of some description. Not too sure what this is going to consist of. Obviously, once we get into PTR, we'll have a much better understanding of what this actual event is, but it looks like it is taking place majority in Nightfall. But there will also be some extra content in Nightfall and Ashgahet for you to do to get reputation and gain renown, and yeah, just get new rewards like a new color variant and some weapons and things like that, which sounds pretty good. So curious to see what that actually consists of. It will probably be a carbon copy of a previous world event we've seen before, with kind of a new skin of taking on the Nerubians, which is okay, I guess. A bit random timing. I feel like this probably could have been like a 11.07 feature in regards to like taking on Nerubians after Queen Ansarek's defeat, but that's okay. Let's continue. So we also have Dastardly Duos. This is later in the patch cycle, players will be able to experience a new 6-week event providing a variety of cosmetics, toys, and even some dungeon items based on the bosses you encounter. It says Vinny Sweets, showrunner and announcer, is promoting the Dastardly Duos, where players can step up to take on animatronic versions of past bosses, gain power-ups, and strive for higher and higher scores for bragging rights. You and your party will fight 2 or more bosses at a time to rank up your highest scores. There will be 3 hubs for the Dastardly Duos that players can visit, 1 in Stormwind, 1 in Orgrimmar, and 1 in Dornagol. While Vinny Sweets is running the show, you'll be able to speak with Ziggy Maryu to queue up for the fight within the Dastardly Dome. A visit with Woodin, the Troll's servant vendor, will also get you access over the weeks to additional power-ups and items to help you in the fight. In week 1, there'll be 4 bosses available to fight, and with each week thereafter, additional bosses will be added with a total of 10 bosses to fight. Earning specific achievements will also provide additional game effects from them within the Dastardly Duo. Earn points for kills, damage done, and much more, racking up high score within your party for bragging rights to see how far you can go. So this actually really sounds like the original version of Awakening Machine, and kind of also the boss rush of Torghast, like having powers, taking on bosses, so presumably like old raid bosses, where they're going to have like similar mechanics. Doesn't mention how many people this is going to be. It says Darcy duos. Obviously, that's just referring to the amount of bosses you kill at a time, which is 2 or more, and you just kind of get this high score, which does sound like a lot of fun. I'd be curious to see what this is actually like in gameplay, but the idea of it does sound very interesting. I'm kind of thinking like the time walking event that we had. I think it was during the anniversary event once upon a time, where we did the boss rushes, something similar to that. Hopefully there's cool models that they've made for these bosses, like kind of like electronic, like robot versions of each of them would be very, very cool to see. But again, that's something we'll definitely see more of once PTR launches and the data mining does begin. The next section is Horrific Visions Revisited. Now, we do know about this. We knew about this is coming. We didn't know what it meant, and it's kind of weird. Anyway, so it says return to N'Zoth's corrupted versions of Stormwind and Orgrimmar, complete objectives, and take on challenges within. As you make your way through these encounters, you'll need to maintain your sanity or ultimately fail, so exactly the same as it was before. It says you'll be able to go in alone or create a party of allies to join you. Players who want to experience Horrific Visions alone or need an additional helping hand in their party will also be able to invite a construct of Sodomi companion to join them. The follower will be able to tank, DPS, and heal, and will not be affected by sanity, so sounds like a brand type NPC that can join you if you are a solo player, which sounds pretty cool, and can heal and DPS and tank for you, which is fantastic. So curious how that is going to work out. It says for players looking for a bigger challenge, you'll be able to activate higher difficulties of play for additional gear up to heroic difficulty items appropriate to your level. Horrific Vision masks are also returning, including the Mask of Pain, Dark Imagination, Long Night, Burning Bridge, and Daredevil. 3 additional new masks will also be available to discover and conquer. It says a new currency to collect will become available to spend at the vendor for previous rewards, the Displaced Corrupted Mementos. Players will be able to earn new rewards in Horrific Visions, such as mounts, toys, transmogs, weapon enhancements, and more. So again, something we'll see more of when the PTR launches. It says whether you're playing a new max level alt character or experiencing it for the first time, you can experience this content shortly after the launch of 11.15. So Horrific Visions are coming back, basically the same. I kind of speculated maybe we were going to get like Horrific Vision of Donegal or like Horrific Vision of Hallowfall or something, but no, we are literally getting kind of a time-walking version of Horrific Visions, but with kind of 2025 mechanics. We have the kind of additional NPC helping us out, some new masks, some new rewards, and previous rewards, which is nice. So we can actually go back and get some of those rewards that perhaps you didn't get back in BFA. Gonna be curious how this works with the cloak. Obviously, the whole big thing of the Horrific Visions was the cloak. Presuming that's going away, maybe replaced with some kind of buff. Again, we'll see more of that. The post does finish with a UI update. It says we are implementing a new UI update which introduces a cooldown manager, allowing players to better track class ability cooldowns. This additional functionality can be personalized through the edit mode within the UI. So again, something just that has been done by add-ons being added to the default UI, which is fantastic. Be curious to see what that looks like. And yeah, that's kind of 11.15. I don't know what I was expecting. I'm curious on some of these things. Like, obviously, we did get a pretty detailed description of some of them, but certainly, like, this is going to be one of those things where it's interesting to read, curious how it plays out. Now, it does sound cool. It does sound interesting. But is it just going to be, like, you know, the same as something else, just with a different skin? And that's something we're definitely going to see once the PTR launches. I'll definitely be streaming the PTR, absolutely, tweeting about it, making videos about it. You know how it goes. So, yeah, Level 1.5 is coming very soon to the PTR. Keep an eye out for content on that. And, yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. More Level 1.5 updates coming very soon. And if you like this video, please do leave a like on it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.